Anyone had an interviewer try to get free work out of them? Today I had a CEO I was interviewing with go totally sideways on me in my email when I wouldn't build out a sales process for a future sales team of his for free as part of my interview. I did tell him I would be happy to work with him on it under contract. He then made a LinkedIn post about me saying I didn't want to work. I emailed him and told him that I was also interviewing him as an employee and that I would never want to work for someone who was so aggressive and petty. Years back, I applied for an IT job. And in the interview they brought me into the network closet, server room and asked me to configure a subnet and IP range for a department, and then configure Active Directory with appropriate accounts and permissions. This was a live production environment and something that was going to take a few hours to configure and implement. I asked them how would I be getting paid for my time, as they hadn't collected any payroll information. He responds that this is a test of my competency and we'd possibly talk about pay if I complete the task. I immediately ended the interview with thanking them for their time and telling them I wasn't doing any free work, and that I could easily demonstrate my skills with a laptop running a VM and creating an account or two. But I'm not about to build them a network and set up accounts and permissions for a production floor without being on the payroll as an employee or subcontractor that has been paid for their services. He tagged you in LinkedIn? I'd torch his ass. Professionally, of course. A few years ago a small business called it a 3-day interview, where I came in, worked and shadowed the employees and I would be paid for those 3 days. After 3 days of work the manager called me back and didn't extend a job offer, but wanted me to come back a 4th day. I was ticked. Went home. Decided nope, F that and slept in the following day. They then tried to only pay me for 2 days so I contacted the Department of Labor and voila, the 3rd day's payment arrived in the mail. One of the dumbest job interview experiences. What was the question? Yes. When I applied for a compliance role for a ride-sharing app, asked for a 13-point plan in case drivers were going to be classified as employees and not contractors. I did successfully bill them my time but took a few months to get the check. I've bartended off and on for 56 years. My last job I came in as a server. Spent a whole week doing back-to-back shifts training for minimum wage. Finally, after following the previous server and doing everything he said, was told I was only qualified to stand in as a host $11 an hour part-time, with a free shift drink. But it was a total surprise for everyone. I didn't show up the next day to be an underpaid wage slave, not qualified to be a server, but sure as heck texted me all the way home trying to get me, the unqualified guy, to come back. When I graduated with my bachelor's in it, I was approached by the manager of a co-working space that had web design and printing offshoots with an offer of a part-time position. I had worked at their space with the startup I was at for my work placement and it seemed like a decent spot. They offered $21 an hour. This is in-house where you earn that at a bottle shop. My work placement paid $27. Entry-level help desk jobs paid $27.32. She told me I was entitled and I should be thankful for the offer when I gave her this information. The shifts she wanted me to work were 25 p.m. on Friday. Some businesses' owners, managers are cooked in the head. Couple times various interview shifts and well, we will talk pay after see your performance. And it's like nope. I don't give free samples. My time is valuable. Company wouldn't give that much as a freebie. Why would someone who makes way less? And if they say you're lazy, etc. Response is usually along lines of yeah, I am lazy because I won't allow you to violate labor laws. On off chance you hire me instead of taking free labor and moving to next candidate for me free labor. I have incentive of wanting to be hired and paid. They have incentive to not hire us if they get free labor every time they say no. Operations job where the company was like 5 people and the CEO was some 45-year-old chick who acted 25 and had the whole edgy Shark Tank persona. The test was compensated for $175 and all it contained was 3 spreadsheets of raw data from various projects they were working on. I did the first in 30 minutes and tanked the last 2. They were pissed and they weren't interested and they mailed me a check because the assignment didn't dictate the answers or work they approved or correct. I once had a job interview that was extremely shady and downright creepy. I had my interview. They offered me the job. Then before I had even started or signed the contract they asked me to come to a lunch meeting to discuss the work I'll be doing and really pressured me to sign the contract ASAP. I signed it as I didn't have much choice as I was unemployed and on government payments, which in order to be on I needed to take the first job I was offered. So before I had even started at the company I go to this lunch, which turns out is a meeting with a client where I was told to lie to the client and say I had been at the company a while and had lots of experience. They also sent me a bunch of the client's data to review, before I even had my work computer or work email. They sent this to my personal email address. Also the interviewer was very creepy. Kept offering to come pick me 26F up from my house and wanted my personal address. He also sent me some uncomfortable messages. I reported him to the government department that handled my unemployment and had recommended me to this job, and thankfully they pulled me out of there and cut ties with this company. I deleted those emails with the company's data and thankfully found a better job later on. TL. Dr. Creepy interviewer makes me work with clients and handle their sensitive data before I had my first day of work. I had a company request I build them a content management portal as part of my technical test with the ability to add new posts, edit posts, view posts, user management, roles and a front end and admin. I told them lol no. I'm not doing that for free. They backtracked and said it's their standard test and a lot of people have done it before. For me it's a waste of my time and the pay range offered wasn't worth the hassle. I turned down future attempts at contact. You should add a review on stuff like Glassdoor about it. Asswipe thinks not wanting to work is the same as not wanting to work for free, lol. This is actually a pretty common practice.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.